How you doing, beautiful people? My name is DeAndre, and I'm back at it again. So, today I'll be talking about Jesus. You know I love Jesus, so I gotta constantly talk about him. I love his presence. Yes, I'll be talking about Jesus, but I'll be specifically talking about trusting in Jesus. A lot of people know of Jesus. They know Jesus. They heard of Jesus. But they don't have a relationship with Jesus. They don't trust in Jesus. They may pray, but just because you pray, that does not give you approval of trusting in Jesus. You have to trust in Jesus through everything. Through reading the Bible, through him speaking through other people to speak to you, through prayer. You might have prayed for something in life and it still hasn't come. You're like, hold on, Jesus, come on. What about me? You might see your friend with something that you might have prayed for, and they might have it, whether that be a car, whether that be a spouse, whether that be a new job, making loads of money. And you might be sitting there jealous, upset, angry, I don't know, you name it. But my point today is, how can you trust in Jesus and why you should trust in him? To trust in Jesus is to read his word, but not only read his word, but to listen to him. He's going to ask you to do something. He may ask you to do something that is so crazy. There's a story in the Bible of Jonah when Jesus actually spoke to Jonah and told him, look, I need you to go preach in the city of Nineveh. Jonah refused. He decided to abort a ship and he sailed off. And as he was going, a storm came. God sent a stormy wind in the ocean. Could you imagine that? I would be devastated. I'd be so upset. I would tell myself, dang, I should have just trusted in God. To make a long story short, Jonah jumped off of the ship and he landed in the belly of a whale. He was in the whale's belly for 3 days and 3 nights. Eventually he was spat out of the whale onto an ocean, or onto an island, and God said, look, I need you to go. And there he went, he listened, and he did what God commanded him to do. He preached to the city. And there's more to that story, but what I'm trying to say is, when you don't trust in Jesus, it hurts. When you don't trust in him, it's painful. And me personally, I would prefer to endure the pain and go through struggling and long suffering, which is that's a fruit of the Spirit. Long suffering, which sounds exotic, it sounds crazy. It's like, hold on, nobody wants to suffer. I don't want to suffer. But that's a part of being faithful to God. Sometimes you have to suffer. He'll put you in a situation to where you have to be like, you know what? I have to sacrifice. Self-sacrifice. But it all works out for the goodness. Everything that he asks you to do, it's all for the good. I can share a story about myself as well. I was looking for a car because I needed to get around. I wanted to get from point A to point B. I didn't have money, and so I decided to pick up a job. Meanwhile, Jesus was constantly talking to me, but I was so busy. I wasn't hearing the voice of God. And sometimes we don't hear the voice of God because we're trying to do it our way. But God is saying, look, let go. Let me do it. I got you. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna do what you need me to do. And so I was working at I was working at some restaurant. It's a Jamaican restaurant. I love Jamaican food, so that's the reason why I decided to work there. But I realized that me working there was more stressful than when I wasn't working. I left that job and I decided to trust in Jesus. And God is so good. I started going to a church, and a church member came to me and they offered me a vehicle that they were just about to sell it on OfferUp, but they didn't sell it anymore, and I currently have that car sitting in my driveway. To God be the glory. Great things he has done. And if that same God did that for me, who's a sinner, who went against God, who did everything contrary to his will, why wouldn't he do the same thing for you? He loves each and every one of us. He created each and every one of us. This skin right here, I didn't choose the color of my skin. God did. So that same God that did this for me, even though I was a sinful man, He will do the same thing for you. If you allow Him to, if you trust in Him. And before I leave, I just want to share this verse with you all before I end this video. In Matthew 11:5, it says, "The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them." So read this word and let that marinate. And let your spirit speak to you. I can explain, but I want you to read that. I want you all to read that and listen. God has something to tell you. Thank you all for watching my video today. You all have a wonderful day. Thanks.